Okay, let's jump right into this video explainer because today we are going to completely rethink everything you thought you knew about extraordinary performers. Have you ever looked at someone at the absolute top of their game and thought, wow, how are they so unbelievably talented? Well, today we're breaking down Daniel Coyle's phenomenal book, The Talent Code, and the core premise we're exploring is going to shatter some deeply held beliefs. We are going to see how talent isn't some magical gift bestowed upon a lucky few at birth. Nope. It's actually a physical mechanism, a biological process that literally anyone can cultivate. We've got to start by attacking this myth of the genetic lottery. You know, the idea that talent is just a rare, mystical gift from birth. For centuries, we've treated talent like eye color or height, right? Something you either have or you don't. We call people prodigies, and we just assume they were wired differently from day one. But the research we're looking at today, it tells a completely different story. It tells us that the reason most people never unlock their full potential isn't because they lack innate ability. It's actually a lack of the right direction, the right motivation, and, most importantly, the right kind of practice.
So, here is the absolute biggest takeaway. Greatness is engineered from the ground up through deliberate struggle, not innate destiny. Talent isn't born, it is built. Being talented simply means you've trained a specific skill over and over again, refining it with a very intense, deliberate kind of effort. And here's the crazy part. Failure isn't a sign of weakness here. It's actually the stepping stone to mastery. Every single time you make a mistake, your brain receives vital feedback. It highlights your weak spots so you can immediately correct them.
So how do we actually do this? Well, here are the 3 core elements of the talent code we're going to map out today: deep practice, ignition, and master coaching. Let's get into it.
First up, pillar number 1, deep practice. This is literally the engine of your growth. True learning actually requires a process called desirable difficulty. Now, this isn't just about logging 10,000 hours of mindless, repetitive practice. Deep practice is a highly active form of learning where you're constantly operating just past your comfort zone. Think about the flight attendant life jacket demonstration. You watch, you listen, and you're like, yep, I know exactly how to do that. But in a real blind panic an hour later, those steps totally vanish. That's passive learning. Now imagine if you'd physically put the jacket on yourself. You tightened the straps, you pulled the little tabs, your body would have created a lasting memory rooted in physical action. Deep practice is doing the hard things, embracing the struggle, and actively doing the work instead of just passively watching it. And here is the biological secret behind why this works. Every time you practice a skill and make a mistake, you are literally thickening the insulation in your brain. This stuff is called myelin. It's a microscopic substance that wraps around your neural circuits. Think of it like upgrading an old dial-up internet connection to high-speed fiber optics. The more you engage in deep, targeted, mistake-focused practice, the thicker this myelin insulation becomes. And what does that mean for you? Faster, clearer, and incredibly precise signals firing from your brain directly to your muscles. I absolutely love this visualization. Imagine your raw neural fibers are like loose strands of dry spaghetti. As the quote says, myelin acts like hot water, bonding those disconnected pathways into one strong, unified cord. This perfectly illustrates the science of turning a clumsy, awkward new action into fast, automatic muscle memory. Over time, this thickened cord becomes the default pathway your body uses. You don't even have to think about swinging that tennis racket or playing that complex piano chord anymore. Your body just reacts because the myelin has bundled that skill into a rapid-fire, automatic response. It's practically magic, but it's just biology. Okay, so to build this myelin efficiently, we use a technique called chunking. Take Clarissa, for example. She's a clarinetist who somehow squeezed an entire month's worth of musical progress into just 6 minutes of intense practice. Now, Clarissa had 0 natural talent, but researchers recorded her practicing a notoriously brutal song called Golden Wedding, and instead of just rushing through it from start to finish hoping for the best, she broke it down into agonizingly small chunks. She literally stopped. She studied the sheet music. She deliberately adjusted her fingers. She'd hum the melody to herself and then repeat that hyper-focused cycle until she nailed it. By breaking the massive task into tiny pieces and practicing them deliberately, she triggered a massive explosion of myelin growth. She was quite literally building a better brain in 6 minutes. But deep practice requires immense energy, which brings us to pillar number 2, ignition, the emotional fuel. You see, you can know exactly how to practice, but without the emotional drive to sustain that intense focus day after day, your progress is just going to stall out. Think about Roger Bannister. He didn't suddenly alter human anatomy to run faster. He provided a primal cue that shifted the entire world's belief system. This is what Coyle calls ignition. It's that tiny spark that makes you say, wait a minute, if they can do it, I can too. Once Bannister broke that supposedly impossible 4-minute mile barrier, the mindset of runners globally completely shifted. 17 more runners did it right after him. Ignition isn't just a fleeting motivational burst. It's a profound fundamental shift in belief triggered by a cue in your environment.
And this leads us to this incredibly fascinating concept, pure ignition and the hidden reserve. The idea here is that we all, every single one of us, have a massive, hidden reserve of energy just waiting to be unlocked by the exact right emotional trigger. This pure ignition often strikes completely out of nowhere. It taps right into our unconscious mind. It can be driven by the fear of being left behind, a sudden burning desire for security, or the thrill of potential recognition. You literally cannot force this kind of ignition with pure logic, but you can absolutely discover it by placing yourself in environments that emotionally move you and trigger that hidden reserve. Just look at the KIPP school in Houston. Work hard, be nice. That incredibly simple slogan ignited a massive shift in self-image for these students, proving that belief and emotional connection are the ultimate fuel for success. Two teachers, Mike Feinberg and Dave Lavin, built this program from scratch. And the real magic? It wasn't just their rigorous academic syllabus, it was how they fundamentally changed their students' self-image. By creating a culture that fiercely believed these disadvantaged students could actually achieve greatness and go to college, an internal switch flipped in the kids' heads. That powerful emotional shift was the pure ignition that transformed an overlooked, struggling classroom into a national model for excellence. Finally, let's explore our third pillar, master coaching. These are the rare guides, the talent whisperers. These talent whisperers are the crucial missing link. They know exactly how to direct our deep practice and fan the flames of our ignition. Master coaches, like the renowned cello teacher Hans Jensen, they do not give one-size-fits-all technical instructions. They don't just say, play faster. They sense exactly what a specific student needs in that precise moment. For example, Jensen had this technically flawless student named Song Year, who honestly just completely lacked emotion in his playing. Jensen practically yelled at him to stop overthinking and just feel the music. But then consider another student of his, Whitney, who was incredibly nervous and stumbling. With her, Jensen used a very gentle, calm visualization technique to help her immerse herself in the piece. A true master coach adapts to the emotional and psychological needs of the individual in real time. It's an art form. According to educational researcher Ron Gallimore, there are 4 distinct qualities that form the exact blueprint these talent whisperers use to rapidly accelerate your growth. First, metrics. They organize their deep expertise into structured maps of knowledge. Second, perceptiveness. They observe tiny, almost invisible details in posture or tone. Third, the GPS reflex. They give firm, precise directions like add this specific technique right at the end, rather than offering vague, unhelpful suggestions. And finally, my favorite, theatrical honesty. This means giving incredibly sincere, sometimes completely unvarnished feedback about mistakes, because they truly know, you absolutely cannot grow without confronting the reality of your errors. So what happens when you put all this together? When you combine deep practice, powerful ignition, and a master coach, you enter that perfect zone of struggle where true mastery is actually born. This is what we call the sweet spot. It's that magical place right on the razor's edge of your abilities where you're stretching, stumbling, correcting, and literally rewiring your brain with myelin. You aren't avoiding failure here. You are deliberately using it as the very fuel for your growth. So as we wrap up this explainer, I hope you see that greatness isn't reserved for a lucky few who simply won the genetic lottery. You have the blueprint now. Break your goals into agonizingly small chunks, find those emotional cues that ignite your internal fire, and seek out a guide who will give you that honest, precise feedback. The only question left is, what is your sweet spot? Think about the one skill you desperately want to master, embrace the inevitable mistakes, and go build your talent. Take a moment right now. What will you choose to grow today?